Greetings and welcome to another episode of Free Cake. This week we're going to talk about E3 and all the cool games that are coming out and the press conferences and all that.
Yeah, getting our nerd on today, man.
Yeah, for sure. So you got it broken out already. So I guess we'll just start with Xbox. And what did you see that looked awesome?
So, I saw a few things that I was like, you get that spark of excitement. You know? Like, especially the classic ones. So, like Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see what that's about, especially because at the end of the trailer, he has the whole, he puts the AI in the back of his helmet.
Yeah.
And who knows, if it's even Master Chief,
Yeah, I assume so because with Halo 5, there's like a huge backlash of people who are like, oh, you don't get to play as Master Chief the whole time. You play as Locke. But Halo 2 is the same way. Yeah. Like, you play as the Arbiter and Master Chief.
And I feel like that was one of the better versions of the franchise, one of the better games. I feel like, because you got both sides of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably my favorite Halo. Because I remember I had an Xbox, and that was one of the games I had, and I played it all the time.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah.
So that one's good. There's not a whole lot to kind of go on with that.
Yeah, it was just a cinematic trailer of showing nothing.
Yeah.
Really?
And then the climax is him holding the helmet.
Exactly.
Oh, there he is. And that's it. No gameplay. There's no dialogue in it. It's just classical music and cutscenes.
And I will see what happens. Personally, I'm not all that excited for Halo just because, I don't know. Halo just... Ever since they concluded it with Halo 3, I just haven't been that excited because then they brought it back out with Halo 4, and I started to play it and never finished it. I started Halo 5 and never finished it just because, I don't know, it just didn't grab me. The story just felt forced, kind of like a TV show that's gone too long.
They just keep putting that episodes. They got the money, why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So we'll see, because when they actually show something of the game, it could be dope, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to play that, you know?
For sure.
But as of right now, I'm just not super stoked for another Halo game.
Yeah, I'm more so curious about it because I know. Do you know what happens in the fourth one?
I know. I've seen pretty much the end, or all the way to the end, and I know that Cortana is...
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cortana is a villain, I guess, right? She becomes and she's trying to...
She becomes a defective AI.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's... Okay. So, yeah, and Halo... And Chief is trying to save her, right?
Yeah.
And then Locke is, doesn't care. It's let's kill everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that goes from there.
Right.
But again, hopefully, if they show some new gameplay or something, in the next year, at next E3 or something, then I'll be excited for it.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm curious about is the gameplay is kind of the same with FPSs anyway.
Yeah.
You just point and shoot. There's some storyline, so I'm stoked that it's going to be another version of that. But I also feel it's a little bit redundant. What other story or twist could you throw into that?
Yeah.
But I'm more curious about his relationship with his new AI or with the team that he's with. What's going to happen to them?
Yeah. That would be cool. I think for me would be more interesting is to see other stories told in the Halo universe.
For sure.
If they kind of like Halo Wars, how that's the RTS. It's it's still cool to see someone take the universe and just expand upon it, or they did with Reach or ODST.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see just kind of cut it off, in Master Chief, and just do something else, either with another Spartan or just a regular soldier, or just something in that universe and just explore different stuff. And I keep thinking, I guess I'm not too abreast to the story, or I don't remember that well. And I'm I keep blowing up these damn Halos.
How many more are they?
How many? They're everywhere. So it's I would like to see just different stories come out of that.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. We'll see how it plays out, man. That'll be an interesting one to see develop and everything.
Yeah.
See the trailers for it and everything too.
Yeah, and then the next game. Another game I'm not too interested in, but I guess it's one of Microsoft's tentpole games is Gears of War 5,
right,
which they announced. So I was and I guess when I think about it, Halo and Gears are like their mainstays.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they have to iterate on those, but I would still like to see new stuff. Like Gears 5 is a little bit more interesting just because they're kind of doing what I want in Halo from Halo is that they're shifting focus.
Right.
So taking
like it's not about Marcus and Dom anymore. Well, Dom's dead.
Well, yeah, Dom's dead.
You know, it's
R.I.P.
not focused. Yeah, for real. Him and his wife.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, they're kind of straying away from Marcus's point of view. You know, like you said, and I don't know who the girl is. I haven't played the fourth one. I have it. I just haven't played it.
Oh, we should play sometime because I have the fourth one too.
It looks sick. Dude.
And I played the fourth one, and so it focused on Marcus's son, JD, in the fourth one, and then like Kate is one of his friends, along with the other, was the black guy whose name I don't remember.
Yeah, the girl, the main girl in the trailer. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's part of his team, and so just like a secondary character.
Yeah. That
like you don't get to play unless you're playing with other people.
Right.
But she's part of, but like a lot of the story though, kind of centers around like the tribe and stuff that she's from in the fourth game.
Mm-hmm.
So like even though you don't get to play as her, you visit like her tribe and you meet a lot of the people that like influence her and part of her tribe and whatnot. So I think it's cool that like, hey, now we're shifting focus to her
right.
and going on a journey with her. And I'm interested to see if the dynamic is like, I haven't read about it other than seeing the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if Kate is going to be like the main character, like the way Marcus was, or is it going to shift focus? Like, is it going to shift focus between like Kate and Marcus or JD?
Like have multiple parts where you play as a different character.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So,
yeah, that'd be really cool. And like it kind of seems like, I mean, I could be totally wrong, at least from the fourth one or in the fourth one up to this new one that's going to be released soon, that they're starting to kind of rebuild civilization and you know, to establish sort of what it used to be like, but they still have like the mentality of like anything can happen. Yeah,
in the fourth one, if I can remember right, like JD was part of like the same faction or whatever that Marcus was working for, and then but like there hadn't been like a sighting of the Locust in like a long time,
right?
And then like somehow they got awakened or some shit, and I don't really remember, but like so I think I don't know. I guess they're gonna go deeper into like the Locust because she was like wearing that necklace,
right?
And they're like, that's the Locust symbol.
But one of the guys was all freaked out about it too. Like, you know, he's trying to play snitch and everything.
Yeah,
dude, shut up, man.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see more of that in the years to come. But one of the interesting I find about these two games is that Halo 5. I mean, not Halo 5, but Gears of War 5 seems like it might be closer because we saw some in-game or what looked like in-game footage, you know, versus Halo, which was just a cinematic trailer. Yeah. So I wonder, are these games going to be on the next Xbox?
Yeah.
You know, like, or is it gonna make it onto Xbox?
And that would be crazy too, because I mean, like, if they do what they've been doing, you know, I mean, for any system that comes out that's new, is you'll have a version that's on the latest console, and then you have one that was just previously before that. And sometimes it sucks because they can't do a whole lot with the software or the hardware within the older system. So a lot of the newer features and different cutscenes and stuff will be in the newer version. Yeah. So I mean, if it is for Xbox One, cool. But if we have to wait till the new Xbox comes out, I'd just rather buy the game with the new Xbox. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Because I feel like you said, usually they have one for the current generation or the outgoing one, and then one for the new one. I think Gears 5 could still hit like the current gen that we're in.
For sure.
Just because it just looks probably like it's more finished. But Halo could probably not. I could see Halo coming out maybe a year or two after the new Xbox.
For sure.
And it just being on whatever the new Xbox is, Xbox 2 or Xbox Infinite or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they end up calling it.
Tie it in with Halo.
Yeah. So I can see them doing that because, like, usually when they show a cinematic trailer or something, that means that game is super far away because they're not even close to, like, being done with it. So it's probably like that game is easily like 3 years away, probably.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, even just learning like basic code recently, like it takes a lot of time to make something simple. Dude. Like you can make a ball and collect a bunch of cubes.
Yeah,
that takes like a few days.
Yeah, like so imagine trying to make a whole scale game with running, jumping, shooting, all the environments. They have to react to each action that you do. I mean, I know they have like a huge team of people.
For
like,
sure.
Still,
I mean, like with that many people, it takes like what 3 to 5, sometimes 10 years to have a game come out.
Especially like Kingdom Hearts 3 is like gonna come out, and
that's
been like 15 years.
Yeah, when we worked at Microsoft, man, like that was on the shelf for pre-order.
Yeah,
and that was in 2012 or 2013.
Yeah,
that was forever. Dude.
That was a long time ago, and it had got announced like way before then. That was like 6 years before that. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make another one.
Like finally, man, they decided to blow the dust off of this trailer.
Seriously,
it took forever.
They took their sweet ass time with that.
But I mean, that one actually looks really good too. I've never played any of them. So I mean, for like the hardcore like Final Fantasy or Disney fans or hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans, like I feel like that's gonna be a good game for them to play too, because it looks like, I mean, it could just be one section, but the trailer made it seem like it has a heavy emphasis on Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think it was that one trailer, because, like, I never played the Kingdom Hearts games either, but for what I've seen is, like, they go to different worlds, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in the other trailers I've seen the Toy Story one, I've seen a Monsters, Inc. one, and a Frozen one.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was probably just, like, one section out of the game where, like,
for sure.
Yeah, hey, we're going to go to Pirates of the Caribbean land. But it's like, what I don't understand, since I watched like all the press conferences, like they showed the trailer at Microsoft, right? And they showed Frozen, and then they showed the trailer again at the Square Enix one because they are the one who published it, right? But it was the same exact trailer as the Microsoft one, and then they showed another trailer in PlayStation. But it was a completely different trailer, and it was a way better trailer than the other two.
Maybe they have like some type of deal where they're like, okay, PlayStation, you gotta promote the shit out of this game.
And it must be, because like that's where all the good stuff came from. Was like they showed the Pirates of the Caribbean trailer. It was a more cohesive trailer. And and they gave a release date, which was like January 25th, I think.
Something like that.
And then they did you get Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Dang.
So
you'll be staying in the house for years playing.
Yeah. I was like, man, that was cool. I wish I had time to play through all those.
Yeah, man. No social life, no work life. Maybe we just should start a Twitch channel and that'll be our job.
Yeah, we'll just like play Kingdom Hearts and just try our hardest to understand what the hell's happening.
Get everything, beat the game 100%.
Yeah, it was like, geez. But the trailer looks okay, I guess. Like, it was very, like, Japanese.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah, well, like, the character style and stuff. Like, there's this one girl, no disrespect to the game, it's just funny, But there's this one girl who has, like, blonde hair, and it's, like, comb back. And she's down her back. But then she has like 2 pieces that like float above the rest of them. You're like, what is that?
Well, because what made me interested in Kingdom Hearts was that I saw like earlier this year, maybe it was last year, they had showed some gameplay. I'm like, oh, this gameplay actually looks pretty cool. Maybe I want to play this. I will understand what's happening because I've never played the other ones. But like, it looks like fun. And then, so I was a little bit excited, and then they showed these trailers, and I was like, I really don't understand what the hell is going on. And it's like, and it's not like an easy to digest like Western style like story trailer where it just kind of gives you like the general beats of what's happening. It's definitely like you've had to play every single minute of Kingdom Hearts. To even understand a little bit about what's going on.
Almost like watching like an anime like Dragon Ball Z. You can't just watch a random, I mean you could, if you really wanted to, you could watch a random episode and be like, oh man, this is cool. But you won't know what happened before that to get to that point.
It kind of reminded me of like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Like watching Metal Gear Solid trailers, unless you played the Metal Gear games and you just watch like any trailer,
Right.
like you'll just be like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like this don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I haven't played. So I've played. So speaking of Metal Gear Solid, just go off on a tangent.
yeah.
But like I've played the PlayStation one. I've played some of the 1980s one.
I never
like
played
Super
those.
Nintendo. That one's hard.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because I don't know what to do. So I just like
Yeah.
whatever. I quit.
Yeah.
So I played those two. I've played the second one, the third one. I played all of them up to 5.
Yeah.
I haven't played 5, but I've played Ground Zeroes, and I haven't finished all of Peacekeeper. So like I've played 2
Okay.
PSP ones.
Gotcha.
But like like you were saying, dude, if you were just to pick up one of those and you're like, I have no idea
Yeah.
who this guy is, what his significance in this game is.
Yeah,
at all,
exactly.
You know? But and I think it's really cool though, because like you kind of see, like you get like a look into Japanese culture, kind of,
Yeah.
of how deep the story can go.
Well, yeah, and like I think too, it also goes along the lines of like they have crafted a story. So like when it gets to Metal Gear Solid 4,
Mhm.
they expect you to know the story.
Right.
So when they put in different like story beats in the trailer, even though like they don't dumb it down to make sense for
Mhm.
me or for anybody who hasn't played it, like it's not like they expect you to get it. Like they don't hold your hand. They're
Right.
like this is 4, so
Yeah.
we're assuming you played the other ones,
Right.
so you would understand what's
It's
happening.
like a college course.
Yeah.
You didn't read the chapter that we assigned last week.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it'll be cool. Like I don't know. Like I know a lot of people who are hyped on Kingdom Hearts. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm excited for them to be excited for the game. But
Yeah.
that's not necessarily one that I'd be like, oh, I gotta get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm glad that it's finally coming
Yeah.
out after so long.
Like people can stop finally holding their breaths.
Yeah. So so that was one that they showed Xbox. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I've
never.
seen quite a few trailers for that.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering too is like is an interesting discussion was that because Skyrim was so huge and like a lot of people know the name Skyrim,
Mhm.
would Elder Scrolls 6 be Skyrim 2 or would they call it Elder Scrolls 6?
Right.
Even though like that's what the series is called, but not many people actually know that name.
Right.
Like they just know Skyrim.
Yeah.
But Skyrim is like the 5th game
Yeah.
in that series.
Yeah.
So they didn't show anything from that either. That was just like
Yeah, it's mainly like cinematic, kind of
Yeah.
like Halo. You know, you see characters climbing walls, enemies and stuff like that. but
yeah,
nothing like too specific about what the game's going to be like. You know,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar to the other ones with a bunch of new mechanics and stuff like that.
yeah,
Me personally, I'm not really into those types of games just because there's so much you can do,
yeah,
and like, you know, sometimes I'll play games and I'll be like, dude, I don't even know where to start.
yeah.
You know, like for example, the Batman Arkham series. You know, like you see how many riddles you have.
Oh yeah, I don't
in
even
the
waste
game,
my
and you're
time.
just like, I don't know if I can do this. you
Yeah,
know?
I don't bother with those. But like, yeah, I think with Elder Scrolls, that game, that's another game that's super far away.
Mhm.
Like, because they said that Starfield was the next game
Yeah.
that they're making, and Elder Scrolls would be after that. So
Yeah.
assuming, like, I don't think Starfield is anywhere close because that was just
Well,
a cinematic.
Yeah, you see the trailer for that. It's just this little ship, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it disappears, and you're like,
Exactly.
that looks cool.
Yeah, so that game is probably like 3 to 4 years away.
Yeah.
So Elder Scrolls 6 is like 8 years away
Yeah.
probably at best, unless they
We'll
are
be-
secretly
we'll
working
be
on
well
it.
into our 30s when that game comes out.
We probably will because that game is not coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we had Battletoads.
Yeah, and that one was kind of cinematic also.
Yeah.
A little reminiscent of like the old style
Yeah.
game that was on, I think it was on Super Nintendo, the original one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was on Super Nintendo.
And that one, I heard that's like one of the hardest, it has one of the hardest levels in gaming history. The one with like the hover bikes or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Battletoads, but I know it's supposed to be difficult.
It looks cool, like, you know, like and what was cool about it is that it was co-op. And
Yeah.
I guess now you can have up to 3 players. you know,
Okay.
playing it. And so I think it's really interesting that instead of Super Nintendo, or Nintendo as a whole taking this game and releasing it. Xbox is actually going to be the ones to take it over and kind of revamp it. But it was really cool. Have you ever seen Ready Player One?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it's a pretty good movie. Like, if you like video games, like that's a good movie to watch. Especially like all the cameos and Easter eggs they have in it.
Yeah.
But there's actually Battletoads in that movie.
Oh, really?
So when I saw that that's one of the games that's going to be released in the future, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be like the characters in the movie because they're 3D. You know, they're not 2D. It's not. You don't see like them running side to side like in a scroller. You know, they're like me and you. It's crazy. You know, but that'll be an interesting one for sure. Wolfenstein Youngblood looks sick though.
That does.
Especially because it's based on the daughters, the twin daughters.
Yeah, so I think it's cool because like I like the setting because it's like 1980s Paris. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That'll be interesting. And like you said, it's his twin daughters this time around. So I'm interested to see that. Wolfenstein 2 was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I played Wolfenstein, the first one. Well, not the first one, but like
the like re-release.
Yeah, the New Order. I think that's what it was called. And that one, I tried to get through it, and I think I just played it a little bit too late because I just played it so I could play the second one.
Right.
But it was good. It's difficult, and then the second one's also difficult, but it's like the graphics are updated obviously because it was a new game,
and it's crazy gruesome too.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought when the first game that I saw that was like real raw and like pretty was Gears of War. You know.
Yeah.
So but then you got that game that comes out Wolfenstein, and you're like, Jesus, this is even way more. Intense.
No, that game is really intense and really bloody, and I like it because of the characters. Like they give you so many unique characters and just like such interesting backdrop because now you're in the 60s or 70s. I can't remember which one. I think it's the 60s, and you know Nazi occupies America and everything, right? So it's interesting to see that backdrop in that time period, and also you just have the awesome characters to go along with it because it's like a pulp movie. It's like if Quentin Tarantino made a video game, that's what it's like, and that's why I think it's pretty awesome.
Well, and it kind of like puts into perspective too, like what if the regime actually did do something like that?
Yeah.
You know, like, and we have to fight back, like not just in another country, but like in our own backyard.
Yeah.
You know, so I like games that kind of play with the whole idea of, what if this happens here?
Yeah.
Because then it puts it in a whole new perspective. You can get more into it. It's more relatable.
Yeah.
Especially with this one, like what I've noticed is a lot of games that are coming out are having a lot of female roles, like a lot of female leads.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because I'm an equal opportunist.
Yeah.
I feel like,
well, it's nice because like it's not just like sexed up either.
Yeah.
Because like growing up, only main character that we really had was Laura Croft, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, big bosom and everything else.
Triangles, pyramids.
Yeah.
They probably shot guns or something.
Yeah. And it's like, that's all you had in like video games and like, and you had like Perfect Dark and stuff too, but like, that was like pretty much it. Like,
yeah.
But now it's evolved.
With like fighting games too, Mortal Kombat, but what is
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You have like it's cool, whatever. I don't have any problem with it. But some people do.
Yeah.
And some people won't let their kids play it, or they won't play it because of the certain imagery. Like Soul Calibur is a really good one. Like the Ivy. Like she's like pretty much naked.
Well, yeah, and the same thing with like Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Like that was like his claim to fame.
That's like one of the weirdest.
Yeah, because they had like
keep them entertained. Like,
yeah.
What?
And they had like boob like physics in that game, and like so like I definitely get like that was like hypersexualized. So it's like nice that we just get like regular grounded female characters, they're just not like sexual objects.
Right. I wonder if it has anything to do with like the way that games are maturing, because they're becoming more of an industry with more of an industry in general. Like I feel like they make way more money than movies these days. The production value's higher.
It's definitely like billions upon billions of dollars industry, right? And it costs a lot to make games, but like they get a return too. Like that's why you have like microtransactions and loot boxes and DLCs is because it costs a lot.
Mhm.
And so like that's how like they kind of like keep people employed too, is because $60 does not cover what the game costs to make, right? It's, even with the millions of people who buy it, like it still doesn't quite cover that. Like to really cover it, the game would have to be like $80 or $90, like it used to be, like way back in the day on like Super Nintendo and N64 when they were like stupid expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. It's just that games are mature, and I think it's more diversity.
Yeah.
So like now we have more women in the games industry and more women to speak out and say, hey, like we really don't want this. Like, can you just make us normal? You know?
Yeah.
And eventually, hopefully, it'll lead to more like people of color too in video games. The more
even like the trailer, one of the trailers that was for what game? It was a trailer that came out. I think maybe even last year sometime. Maybe in January. But it was like a zombie game. It starts out with this black guy, and he's like listening to his messages.
Yeah.
And waiting for the bus or something. You know, he's in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
We're just walking past him, and I mean, if you guys know what this trailer, what the game is called for this trailer, write it in the comments or whatever. But and then flash forward to him, and he's just wearing a hoodie with a backpack, has a spiked bat.
Yeah. And
he's just like, you know what, screw it. He has like that type of attitude. Starts hitting stuff. So the zombies can start coming towards him, and he's just like getting ready to swing on them, and then that's the end of the trailer. So, you know, like I think diversity is important because you need people to be able to feel like they relate to specific characters. You know, and that's one reason why I play video games, because it's like you don't just watch this person do it; like you are this person. Like you're controlling every action and everything with this character. So. But to have someone that has like a face like you do, or like a skin tone like you, or like they're the same sex as you, you know, like I think that's extremely important. So it's really cool to see us kind of go from like a, you know, for lack of a better term, an adolescent time period in video games to, you know, like kind of a matured, like we could do kid games, we could do, you know, intense adult games, we could do anything in between. Yeah. But let's all keep it straightforward. Let's not focus on this aspect of it or that aspect.
Yeah, and like it's a good time for video games because, like you're saying, like you have everything from like kiddie stuff or like, you know, more casual games. Like they had Overcooked 2 was announced, and like you have all the Pokemon stuff that was announced,
or like what is it, Stitched or like Threaded, or it's like this little like cloth character that's made out of
Unravel.
Yeah, Unravel 2. That one, I would play that game all day.
Yeah, like that game looks. The game looks fun, but then you have something that could be as like serious in tone as like The Last of Us Part 2, right? Where it's like super emotional, super violent, super like it just deals with so many adult themes, right? And it's like The Last of Us 1 is held in such high regards as like maybe one of the best video games ever made, and it looks like they're trying to continue that with Last of Us Part 2.
Right. Well, let's talk about that one for a second. You know, I've never played The Last of Us, the first one. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of, you know, Let's Play videos in it, and I kind of know, like, the premise of it, you know. And you have the character, I don't know is her name Jessie?
Ellie.
Yeah. Ellie. Duh, I knew that. Jessie, right? No, you're wrong. You're way wrong. But, you know, like you see her in the first one, and she kind of is coming out of this innocence and has to develop, you know, thick skin and a cold heart to be able to survive. And so seeing the trailer for the new one, it's really cool because you see, you know, she has a whole different look, a whole different kind of like bravado and attitude, swagger to herself. And then you see her in action, and it's like she's just ruthless. Yeah, like she's just changed entirely as an individual. Which is really cool because you've followed her through this. You understand exactly why she is the way she is.
Yeah, I mean like to talk about that trailer is like it's so good because like it sets the tone too, right? Because like they start out and like they're dancing and like trying to get like a reprieve from like the post-apocalyptic world that they live in, and like she's with that girl that I guess she's into, and like they start kissing, and in that, it turns and cuts to her just messing somebody up, right? Like
she's like covering his mouth and everything. Like, oh my god!
Like, jeez.
Yeah.
That took a hard turn, and like so, And in that gameplay section, it just shows like how dire the world is and how serious the world is, and then also Ellie's maturation,
Right.
Like how she is now like like you said, like she's cold and like she just has no qualms about like kill. I mean, I think she cares about killing people,
Right.
but it's also like it's either killed or be killed.
Right. Well, and like a lot of the times, I mean, and it's probably because there's multiple people. You know, like she's in the forest and you see these people coming with torches and whistling and everything.
Yeah.
She avoids them because she's like, oh, well, if I don't have to deal with him, I'm not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus when she goes like under the bridge
Yeah.
where the road is and there's like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
And she has to deal with them, you know.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see like, you know, her soft side, her vulnerable side, and then just like the side that everybody else sees because it's like you said, kill or be killed. You can't trust anybody. And then it reverts back to that scene where they're just kind of dancing with each other. And
Yeah.
just like,
Well, yeah, and then the girl that she's with it has that line. I mean, I guess that like supposed to echo what we just saw was that like you're the most dangerous person here.
Like they should be terrified of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was an excellent trailer. It was probably the best trailer / gameplay that I saw the whole E3.
For real, well, because it just hooked you. You know, it didn't start out with like a little cutscene or, you know, it wasn't just dialogue. It wasn't just cinematics. It was a combination of everything.
Yeah.
You know, and like you were able to see and kind of feel like what she was feeling.
Oh yeah,
in all those moments. I mean, because
Yeah.
you have a wife, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to be with somebody you care about more
Yeah.
than anything. But then it's also like, I don't know what it's like to have to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
Or do you?
But, you know, you can kind of get a sense of what that's like.
Yeah.
Just the ruthlessness. And I just think that's weird, man, because if civilization were to fall, you know, and we had, like, some crazy outbreak of some virus,
Yeah.
or, you know, it's every man for himself, or every group of people for themselves, how would it be? Would it be like that?
Yeah.
Or would we all stand together and try and fight it?
Yeah, and I think it's a good. I think they just did a really good job of making you empathize with her and like with the character and like going from the happy situation to the real world situation and then back to the happy situation again and like just kind of like also just showing like you don't really know what somebody's capable of until they're put into that situation.
Yeah, and that's what keeps me from getting into any type of confrontation, man.
Yeah.
I'm a patient person. I'm way nice, but I'm never going to just go out and try and get somebody for no reason. Because you might know karate, you might have a gun in your pocket.
That's true.
Not in your pocket. I don't think a gun can fit in your pocket.
Yeah. I mean, you can. There are really tiny guns that you could get, but I digress. Also, in the PlayStation conference, since we're already talking about that stuff, Ghost of Tsushima. Which,
that one looks really cool.
Yeah, that looks awesome. It's made by Sucker Punch, who made Infamous, all 3 Infamous games, which I really liked. I played the last one, which is Second Son, and it was good. I don't like it as much as the other 2 that had Cole, but I think Cole was just like a better protagonist.
Right.
And his powers were cooler. But and the storytelling was a little bit better in those 2 as well. But yeah, they were working on a game, and nobody's known what they've been working on. Like, we knew it wasn't Infamous, like, they were done with that.
Right.
So, something new. And they unveiled it, I think, at PSX last year, but it was just a trailer.
Right.
So, this is the first time they show cinematics, or gameplay.
Actual gameplay.
Yeah, and I was like, this looks awesome. This is like, this is the feudal Japanese game that I've always wanted, that nobody has made in like 10 years.
Well, and like, I don't know if you're like me, like I kind of grew up watching like martial arts movies.
Yeah.
Like, Wing Chun or Bruce Lee films. Another one that really sticks with me is Shogun Assassin.
Yeah.
And so seeing him show up to those 3 guys like at the bottom of the river and he's just like, hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
That one guy pulls a sword out, dude, and he starts charging towards him. He's just like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did to him. He just goes like this. And the guy just stands there and then just falls. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Not even just like from a gameplay perspective, but like the environment, the artwork in it.
Oh yeah.
Like he's riding the horse, dude, and you see like the grass just
waving
in the wind. And
dude,
it looks
awesome.
real.
No, like I'm with you because like I've always watched martial arts films or Japanese films too, like where like Seven Samurai or 13 Assassins or Fortress or something like that, where like I've always loved samurais in the Edo period, and like there's been games here and there that have like taken place in there, and I've enjoyed it, but they're so few and far between, right? And like, and I was just watching a Japanese movie called Blade of the Immortal, which is about the samurai who can't be killed, and so he's just going around messing people up. Dang. Well, I mean, he lives in solitude, but he gets hired to like mess up these people.
Right.
So like I was like already in that mind frame, and so when they showed this trailer, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want right now, because like you said, it brings that same aesthetic. And then like when he's going through the field, or later in the trailer when he's fighting that other samurai, and it's just like all those red leaves, right?
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. Like the game is so gorgeous.
Yeah. Like from his hat to like the reflection on his sword, even like the blood spatter, like that's pretty sick.
Yeah, like I mean, the combat looks pretty awesome. I don't think it looks like super terrific. It kind of looks like Arkham a little bit, and I'm interested to see more of that and like how varied like the combat is. Is it always going to be like that action-y, or are there going to be stealth parts, or like
And yeah, because you see the part when he tries to sneak in the building.
Yeah, exactly.
He's walking on the roof and everything.
Yeah,
he just sneaks up on those guys. So I don't think it's going to be just like a hack and slash type game. It'll probably be some strategy involved too, but we have yet to see.
Yeah,
but it does look really good, and that's all I could think of when it started playing. I was like, dude, this is gonna be so dope. It's gonna be like a martial arts movie. Yeah. It's probably gonna be the newest form of martial arts entertainment of our time. So that'll be really interesting to see. For sure.
I'm really excited for that. And then they showed Death Stranding, and like what the hell Death Stranding is, I still don't know. They've been showing Death Stranding for like 3 years now, and I still don't know what's going on in that game.
When I first, so you know how the trailer starts, you're in like this weird looking thing, and you see the baby's face, and I'm like, is he born? And then you get sucked back in, so it's just like, that's really weird. But when I saw the baby in it, that game, PT. PT, I think.
Yeah, it was PT.
Like a teaser game.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the hardest ones. Like people had to go online, and tons of people spent hours trying to figure out how to beat this one level without dying and stuff. And that trailer was actually really scary to me.
Yeah, that was
like there's this one part where you see a fridge hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody screaming in it, and there's blood dripping. You're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, so like that was weird. I thought this was like, okay, that's pretty much a Silent Hill game. Maybe this is the continuation of that. But you get to watching the trailer, and it's not even anywhere close to that.
It's really weird. Like PT was, like you said, supposed to be the Silent Hills game, and in that game was Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro, and Kojima was making it, and then Kojima had the falling out with Konami, so that game got canceled.
That's probably why they haven't made a good Metal Gear Solid game.
Well, yeah, they made Metal Gear Survive. To get off on a tangent, what I think is going to happen with Metal Gear is that they're probably gonna start making another Metal Gear at some point, but I think they're gonna, which would be cool if they do it right, but I think what they're gonna do is remake Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
I think they're gonna remake those.
That'd be cool, because then you could, the possibilities are endless. You could start out as Grey Fox, you could start out, doing some stuff with Ocelot or Liquid or whatever, but
yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be good, because I think it's going to take like the Resident Evil approach, like how they are remaking Resident Evil.
I'm stoked about that.
Yeah,
I love the Resident Evil games.
That looked awesome too. I saw that trailer and I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be that same approach, or like Final Fantasy VII, that they're gonna remake the game but add in the new mechanics.
Right.
So like it'll be Metal Gear Solid 1, but it'll play like Metal Gear Solid 5. You know? So I think they'll end up doing that. But back to Death Stranding. Kojima left Konami, and I guess he's still making a game with Norman Reedus because he's in the game.
Right.
And so is Guillermo del Toro. but I just have no clue
Yeah.
what the game's about, like what the gameplay is.
Well, like it's kind of weird because like at first I thought, well, he's probably on a different planet with that big ass bag.
yeah,
He has the little machine following behind him and everything.
yeah,
But then you're like, oh, it's got to be the same planet or like the same type of atmosphere because he doesn't have a helmet on.
yeah.
You know, and then like there's this one scene where he's walking towards the water down the mountain and it looks like he has a body wrapped up.
Yeah, he has a body wrap.
He's like leaning, trying not to fall over, carrying it.
Yeah, it was like, is this game just you delivering weird ass things to people?
Yeah.
Like you just travel across like half the country just to deliver some weird ass object.
And you don't have a vehicle.
Yeah,
you don't have a vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Carrying this heavy ass bag. You know, this bag is sore as hell.
I know.
Oh.
He's got like a back. He's got like back problems and shit.
No, but all that aside, though, like, you know, it's exactly what I would expect from Kojima himself. You know, like
Yeah.
it looks really good. The mechanics look really well done. The artwork is really good as well. But then you get towards like the middle of the trailer, and he's saying like, "I can't get out of here."
Yeah.
You know, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I have this idea thing." Presses the button. It looks like there's a baby in his helmet or whatever.
I think it's just like a carrier. Like it looks like a fake womb
Yeah.
to carry a baby in or something.
Yeah. So that was kind of weird. And then you have like this like strobe light thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was doing, you know, but you have all these other like things, and it looks like they're attached to some cord.
Well, yeah, just like they look like Dementors from it.
Yeah, yeah, with the umbilical cord. So,
Yeah.
you know, just cut that, man. You don't need that anymore. You know, and then he's like looking at the picture of his family, and you know the handprint
Yeah.
comes through, and then this lady appears out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
don't move, don't be quiet. You know. Like,
Yeah. And then the trailer ends with her eating like some weird like grub thing.
Yeah.
I was like, the thing that concerns me is that like, you know, Metal Gear Solid has like a nonsensical story, especially if you haven't paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And it could be confusing and a little weird. But like, now that like Kojima is like, I guess in like this sci-fi territory,
Mhm.
it's like now he gets to be like really weird.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried it's gonna be too weird to make any like really make any sense.
Right.
Like I could play the game tomorrow and in its entirety, and I just still be like,
I have no idea.
yeah. I don't know what the hell I just experienced, but I did something.
Yeah, it makes me wonder like if it's gonna have like the same or a similar flow as Metal Gear Solid, to where like you go up into the middle of the game and then
Yeah.
you're made, or like you know, okay, well I know what your guys' plan is. I
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen, and then it starts to unfold more and more after that. Or if
Yeah.
it's gonna be you play all the way up until the end, and not until the very end do you know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I hope there's not like hour-long cutscenes.
Like Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
4.
Like I'm all for it, and it's cool. Like when you expect it, you
Yeah.
know, but then you're like, man,
I
I
mean-
sat here for 2 hours watching this.
Yeah.
I watched the whole movie. Just
I know. That was one of the problems with Metal Gear Solid was that like Kojima would be like really cinematic, and it would give you like he never found the balance, I guess, right, between being like a cinematic storyteller and like gameplay. Because yeah, there were times in Metal Gear Solid where you would put the controller down for an hour
Mhm.
and like literally just watch a movie and not do anything.
It's like they're having a battle of wits, Snake versus this guy. You know, the coolest one though that I will give credit to is him and Psycho Mantis.
yeah,
That's my favorite villain because he like breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
You know,
like- yeah, that was cool. And like, but then he had Metal Gear Solid 5 where it was like almost no like story. Like there's very few like cutscenes because like they made it open world, and
yeah.
like there's more focus on gameplay. So like gameplay wise, it was the best the game that series has ever been.
Mhm.
But then like it left something to be desired story wise because like they cut that out. So like
Right.
like you said, like I'm interested to see if Death Stranding is gonna be like old
Mhm.
Kojima, where it's just like, hey, take a break,
Yeah.
get some snacks. We're about to watch a movie.
Get your popcorn.
Yeah.
No, that'll be a good one. I have nothing but faith that that'll be a good game because he's definitely one of my favorite people in the gaming industry. You know, he
Yeah.
knows how to do it. But just that trailer was just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it was really, really odd, and just the fact, like, I don't know, I wanted the best for it, you know, like, because I don't ever want any game to be bad, right?
Yeah, and even games that are bad, I'm not gonna talk crap on it because I can't make that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say there are certain parts in games that I'm like, hey, you could have done without that.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm never gonna just straight bash it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. The worst feeling is when you work in a store, like our old job,
Yeah.
and people just come and just talk crap on everything that you represent or you make, and it's
Yeah.
dude, I just work here.
It's like, I didn't put my blood, sweat, and tears into making this product for you.
Right.
Like, I didn't, I came here to either fix your problem or sell you a solution, right?
Right.
Like, it's not my fault that things are the way they are.
Yeah.
Like, you got a problem with it, you're gonna have to go way up higher than me. But
Yeah.
it's the same. It's the same thing. So yeah, I want it to be the best, and that's another topic. But people are really weird about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, where they talk a whole bunch of crap about anybody involved in a product, and being rude, and it just doesn't make sense. But hopefully Death Stranding works out.
Yeah.
And the next game, or the last game they showed at PlayStation, was Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that one looks amazing too.
Yeah.
I like his suit too because it's not it's almost like it's familiar. You know, it's a new suit.
Yeah.
But you feel like I've seen that suit somewhere.
Yeah,
before.
it definitely has hint of classic Spider-Man, but also mixing in the cinematic Spider-Man with the eyes and everything. I don't know how I feel about the white spider. It's not a big deal, but it's just I don't know. It's just a little off-putting sometimes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that game looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you could probably verify this. Did is the Unreal Engine
I think
in that game?
I think so.
Because I mean, if you look while he's doing the combat scenes in the prison, you can see the combo counter in the corner. His life bar's up there.
Yeah.
It's linear though. It's not circular like it was in the Arkham series. But the mechanics are really sick, man. You can do web swing attacks. You can do just web attacks.
Yeah.
Close quarter combat type attacks.
Well, yeah. Watching the gameplay, there's so many different variations to how you can play. It could be really simple, or it can be a super complex combo system.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the type of game where it has a lot of replay value because there's multiple solutions in how you can, approach a problem or defeat an enemy or anything like that. But his suit's cool. The graphics, it's a PlayStation exclusive, so it's obviously going to be top shelf.
Yeah.
So I'm really impressed with that. Then there was another trailer. Well, I think it might have just been the tail end of the one where he goes in the prison and starts fighting all his enemies.
Yeah.
But he's on the roof and he's fighting everybody.
Yeah.
And they're bring him in alive. He's all right, that's a good idea. Still being witty.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that he still has that type of personality. They weren't super dark with Spider-Man or try to change his character entirely.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's he looks up as he's on the ground. He's you, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that trailer was cool. And the one thing I like is they've taken a lot of elements from Arkham, where they're taking the combat. Obviously, is very similar to Arkham, and then the complexity with the different gadgets and stuff is Arkham, which is cool because I don't have another Arkham game to play.
Right, yeah.
So if Spider-Man's going to take up that mantle, that's awesome because
for sure.
I love the way that handles. And then moving around New York, with the West Wing, it's awesome. It's super fluid and a bunch of different moves, and it's seamless. The way that he swings, and then to running up a building, to doing a zip swing, to attacking somebody, it's just so incredibly seamless that it's I hope that I can do that when I'm playing it because it looks really cool.
Well, it's crazy because you have a lot of versions of Spider-Man games. I could be wrong on this, but the only other game I feel would be able to beat that would be the Mario games. But you've had so many different versions of Spider-Man games. On Game Boy, on Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox even. I think the one that even comes close to this new version that's coming out would be Spider-Man 2, which is based off of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, the way he swings, his attacks, like it's just like there's no like you wouldn't play it and be like, oh, well, there's a glitch right there. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look unnatural in any way, and I like how they did his spider sense too, because it's just like it's almost like the cartoon from the 90s kind of, you know, or like any of the other games where, you know, it's bold, like you can see it, but everybody can see it, you know, but like with this one, it's kind of like only you see it. It's more transparent and it's more like,
it's more faint.
So I like that aspect of it. I mean, that one's probably like I might have to buy a PS4 because of that game. I said that about God of War. You know, I've said that about a few games, but
well, it's like, I don't know, like PlayStation, they've just been killing it recently. Like I've played Horizon, which is exclusive, Uncharted 4, which is an exclusive, God of War, another exclusive. Like they're just killing it when it comes to exclusive games. And then now they're gonna have all these games that we just mentioned: Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2. Like they're doing such a quality job and such a good focus on those exclusive titles that make you want to have a PlayStation in a way that I feel like Xbox hasn't, right?
Yeah.
Like they've had Halo and Gears and Forza pretty much this entire run. Like, and I know like now they're trying to double down on their commitment to first party games because like they bought like a bunch of different studios to make first party games. So like they bought Ninja Theory and Playground Games and a couple others, but like those games are like probably a little ways away. You know?
Right. It's gonna be a minute before we see something that's just only Xbox. You know, aside from the ones that we've already mentioned. Yeah,
exactly. So I think with buying those, like maybe the next time the new Xbox comes around, right? That they're not gonna be caught off guard this time, right? They're gonna have a whole bunch of first party games like either at launch or within like a year of launch. And that way they can continue to have those exclusive games going forward. Because I think at the beginning of Xbox One's life cycle, they had a different person in charge and then they switched. And so like this person kind of had to fix the mistakes or Phil Spencer had to fix the mistakes of the previous person in charge. So it's like they had to play catch up and they've already kind of lost this generation. So now they're doubling down and fixing the things that they had to fix and setting them up for the next generation. Hopefully, you know,
I feel like also the fact that they, you know, Xbox One is a great product. I bought it the day it came out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any of the newer ones yet because mine still works really well. Why would I buy a new one?
Yeah.
You know, but I also feel like they were over ambitious a bit. Maybe even took way too much on that they weren't ready to do. You know, I mean, like you have, if you're familiar with any Windows product, you know, like you have Windows Phone or you know, Windows Computer, Xbox, whatever. They're trying so hard with like seamless integration across all devices, and you know, you can use your Xbox One to turn on your TV and go straight to your cable and do this and that. And, you know, it even makes toast for you. And, you know, like you have so many options with it that they kind of, I feel like, lost focus of what Xbox really was originally. You know, and PlayStation, it's just been games all the way. You know, and now they're kind of seeing like, all right, well, not a lot of people use this or they use that, so maybe we need to narrow our scope a bit. Keep the few things that work, like a few apps or whatever, and then focus mainly on games. You know?
Yeah, I think that was the problem. Was that when they announced the Xbox and they had that first E3 conference showing off the Xbox One, they put too much focus on the other stuff. Like they put too much focus on Kinect. Too much like, oh hey, you can turn on with your voice. You can you have all these different apps. You can watch
so
TV
crazy too, because like. Kinect doesn't do anything anymore.
I
mean, you can turn it on.
And it can look at you.
But there's no games where, like, I mean, like Battlefield 4, I think it was, you could do voice commands and stuff.
Yeah, you could do voice command, and it would, like, track your head movement.
Yeah.
So, but, like, I tried that once, and it was garbage. I was like, never doing that again. But like, yeah, and they had all these different things that they were focusing on, and like you're saying, and not enough about the games, and not enough investment in first party games as well. So like, and like, I don't think they had enough investment in the third party because I think they're riding off the wave of the previous generation, right? Like the 360 was a huge success, and like the PlayStation 3 had to play catch up pretty much that entire generation, and like that's kind of where their focus on games started, right? Is like PlayStation 3 had at the tail end of their life cycle, like they had like God of War 3, and they had Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 and Last of Us. So it was like at the very end, and that kind of changed their mindset because like they had to focus on games and kind of catch up to what 360 was doing because like even because they didn't have like a good online service either. Like they had PSN, but it wasn't nearly as good as what Live was, and so everybody was playing on Xbox Live and playing Halo and Gears, but they were playing Call of Duty and Battlefield on those consoles too. And then they kind of lost sight of that going into a new generation where like Call of Duty kind of just made its allegiance with PlayStation, and so did a bunch of other developers because PlayStation showed a more focus on games,
right?
And Microsoft didn't, and it hurt them in the long run. Plus, they had all that DRM stuff and always being online that really hurt them as well. But now they've tried to course correct that because they've had backwards compatibility and Xbox Game Pass and a whole bunch of stuff to like be like, hey, we're trying.
we still make games, just so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, I mean, like, I'm a diehard Xbox fan. I'm a diehard PlayStation fan. I don't care what it is. I'll play any game. Like, I have a handheld Atari game system at home, you know. So I'm all about video games, and you know, there's got to be competition somewhere. But I feel like, you know, this is probably the age where they need to just really focus on their gameplay because that's what brought people a bigger audience anyway to Microsoft. Because before it was just computers, you know, and software and stuff like that. But the fact that they were able to take not just PC games, but games that you could put a disc in and or just play online or whatever, like that's huge. I feel like you know? So if you could just focus on that more, you know, obviously the audience is going to be huge, and they'll probably have that demand that they once had.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go back, I had a PS3 way before I ever had a 360, and at that time, PS3 had like very few exclusives and very few good ones. But like 360 did have Halo and Gears, and like they had the better online system, which made it like the better place to play games. And like I said, they had to catch up, and now like the roles reverse going into this generation. So like I think you're right. Like they just have to double down on that, which it seems like they're doing. And I guess next generation is like they'll come out swinging
for sure.
And then last but not least, we have Nintendo and all the stuff that they announced, which I don't really remember all that much because I don't pay attention to Nintendo.
I do know that Fortnite's now on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, so that's cool. I'm like, that seems like a no-brainer, right? To put Fortnite on Switch. They showed more of the Pokemon. What's it called? Let's Go Pokemon or Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, and where it's like you get to play like a console version of Pokemon, but like you're also, if you play Pokemon Go, the Pokemon that you catch there.
Oh, so it's like integrated.
Yeah, so like cool. All your Pokemon Go transfer to the console version.
That's cool.
Which is cool. I'm like, that gives me incentive to play Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because when it came out, man, it was all the rage, and it was cool.
Yeah,
but it got
for a little while. Yeah,
so fast. Like I'm doing the same thing. I'm just walking around my house with my phone. If I wanted to do that, I just no screen it or go on Instagram or something. You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that gives me more incentive to play it because then like, oh, I'm just out at the library or something. I'm gonna try to catch some Pokemon so I can have some in my game back home. But yeah, they showed that. They showed.
I think the new Super Smash is coming out.
Too. Yeah, they have Super Smash. That was the only like big announcement. Oh, and they had Super Mario Party. So if you like Mario Party games,
That's gonna end so many friendships. Man. You can never play that game and then not get mad at your friend,
Well, it
or
was
your
like-
brother or your sister. Like,
Yeah, it was like any game. Like whether you're playing Monopoly or you're playing like Connect Four.
Yeah.
Like you're always gonna get pissed off, like because you're. I guess if you're not competitive, then you don't care. But
Right.
like most people are competitive, so yeah, you're gonna be like.
Well, you can start like, let's say I have like 50 stars, which is kind
Yeah.
of hard to get anyway.
Yeah.
But you got 50 stars, right? All of a sudden, someone gets like a lucky draw. Like,
Yeah.
in the space. They take all your stars.
No.
You're in last place, man.
Yeah, I mean, like that's some bullshit.
Yeah. That game ruins friendships,
For real.
changes lives for the worse.
Yeah.
End up
So.
in poverty because of that game.
So yeah, like you're saying, like the huge announcement was Super Smash, which they announced at a direct like a little while ago,
Mhm.
but like they didn't show anything of it. So like this was the first like showing of it, and it had like a whole blowout like of gameplay and everything.
When it looks like you have a lot more characters, playable characters that are from different games. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it, but it's like this dragon thing from.
Ridley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the name. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, so I was watching that conference, and it's every game that's ever been in Smash ever.
Mm.
So any character that's ever appeared in the Super Smash Bros. Game is in this game.
That's so crazy.
It was just awesome because like I didn't think I would ever see Solid Snake
Mhm.
and Smash in a game again, and I never thought that I would see Cloud
Mhm.
from Final Fantasy VII in there because like
I think even Pikmin was in
Yeah,
that one,
Pikmin
too. That
were
one
in
was-
there, too.
That was a cool matchup too. you know.
Yeah.
They even took Rob from like the old
yeah,
Super
they had
Nintendo.
Rob. They brought back Little Mac from
Yeah, the
Punch
boxing
Out.
guy,
yeah.
yeah.
And like they had Ice Climbers and a whole bunch of different characters like that have shown up throughout, like Pichu,
Mhm.
and now they have Peach in there too. It's just so many different characters to play with, and I kind of hope I hope just that doesn't mean like they're not going to release new characters, you
Right.
know, like going forward, like a few months after release or something. But it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like it looks great.
Well, I don't care who you are, man. Super Smash is always fun to play. Like
Oh,
even
yeah.
the one on Nintendo was fun to play. Like
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. Not
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. It was
64. Yeah.
That one was way fun.
Yeah, like they've always been fun, and like it seems like the way they've explained it and how like they've tweaked everything, it just seems like they spent so much time going through all of these characters,
Mhm.
right, and balancing them and making sure that like everything is fair and makes sense, you know.
For sure.
Not every character is a clone, and like or one character is like super OP.
yeah.
Like everything is fair and balanced.
like old Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, or even like Street Fighter, some of the Street Fighter 4
Yeah.
where like characters were super OP.
Bison was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
like
hated that guy.
so it's like it's nice that they're taking that much care into it, you know.
Mhm. For sure. And then there's a lot of different independent games that are coming out too.
Yeah.
So Ori 2 is coming out. I haven't
Yeah.
finished the first one.
I haven't played the first one.
I feel
Everybody
like
says it's super sad.
It's really emotional. Yeah, like it's really sad. What else? I mean, Sea of Solitude. I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, Sea of Solitude looks pretty cool. I'm interested in
But
that.
that one's by EA though, so I don't know if it's specifically independent. but-
Yeah, so it's not specifically, I guess, because EA is gonna, market it and publish it and
Right.
stuff. But it's still like independent because it's an independent studio.
Right.
What else? There were some other games too. Oh, Devil May Cry 5 was announced.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I was wondering if like they were gonna go back to Dante
Mhm.
in the Devil May Cry series because the last one was Virgil.
I think, and he had his hair short. Right?
Yeah. And so like that was the remake. So they had DMC, which was the remake,
hmm
and then before that in Devil May Cry 4, they had a new character whose name I can't remember, and they had Dante, and you spent like half the game playing the new character and half playing Dante, and then so like they showed the new trailer, looks cool. It was just a cinematic, but
Yeah.
hopefully it pans out.
Well, and Capcom always does a good job with their games. I feel like. You
Yeah.
know, even like because they do Resident Evil, they do like a lot of the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with it. It'll be interesting for sure. Guns and swords.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it works out. Yeah, and then they showed Dante at the very end of that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk 2077, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that looks crazy. Like, I mean, because you have people in like punked out outfits, hairstyles and stuff, and like he's talking about this city that has the worst crime rate, and it's like the worst place to live. Yet everybody wants to go and live there.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, that is coming from CD Projekt Red, who made the Witcher series. Pretty much, it's pretty much most of what they've done up to this point. And I didn't play Witcher 1 and 2, but I played Witcher 3, which is like so long. Like there's so much to do in that game, and like I just had to give up.
Right.
I was like,
yeah,
I was like,
it's one of those.
Yeah,
that I can't even finish.
Yeah, I was like, I have to throw in the towel. I got to like the second area, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah, man.
I can't anymore. But like, the game was really well done. Like, it's one of the few games where like it had a lot to do, and maybe even too much to do, but so much of it was interesting. And like, not a lot of games can accomplish that. Like, I feel a lot of games just give you stuff to do just for the sake of having shit
like
to do,
side missions or whatever.
Yeah, and it doesn't really, it's inconsequential or they're not interesting.
Right.
But like the ones in Witcher were pretty interesting. So I'm excited to see what Cyberpunk is going to be like. They had like a behind closed doors showing of it, and so apparently it's first person, and there's like a strong RPG, which you would expect since Witcher is RPG, but it also has a strong shooting mechanic to it as well.
That'd be cool.
So I'm looking forward to that.
It looks action packed for sure, and the characters, like just the dimensions and everything, just look on point.
Yeah, and if it's anything like The Witcher, it's probably going to be a huge ass open world, and it's going to be a lot of stuff for you to do. So it's a lot of people were saying that it's like a cross between GTA 5 and Deus Ex.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. And then Battlefield 5, which obviously we know is coming.
And that one's cool too because it's not modern day. It looks like it's like World War.
It's World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. Just like every other game, they introduced a battle royale mode. So like they have one now. Call of Duty has one. I'm sure other games will have it.
Yeah, Fortnite has it.
Yeah, in addition to Fortnite and PUBG, who are already been doing it. So that'll be cool. I'll be interested to play when it comes out. And then Fallout 76, which was kind of surprising, that got announced a couple weeks ago, and I was like, they're making that Fallout?
Yeah.
So,
just out of nowhere. And it wasn't like a huge announcement or anything. It was just like, here you go.
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna drop that right there.
Well, and I guess like on this one, now you can play multiplayer. And it's not. I don't think it's restricted to just console, like one console. It's gonna be online too. Like if you link up with friends, you could do that online. Yeah,
that's what it seems like. It's gonna be like one of those games like Division or Destiny, where like there's gonna be people inhabiting the same space as you. But you don't necessarily have to do anything with them.
Right.
Like, you can still go ahead and play the story. It seemed interesting because it seemed like there was more emphasis on, like, the shooting mechanic, which has never really been a thing that Fallout's known for, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like more strategy and gathering. And
oh, yeah, definitely.
So this will be interesting, I mean, because it's like you said, it's more it seems more shooter oriented.
Yeah, like it's because like Fallout, I love Fallout. I love Fallout 3 and I love Fallout 4 because I love the narrative behind it and making the different choices and seeing the ramifications of that. And so I'm wondering, like, is the new one gonna be able to keep that, given that like it is shooter heavy and it's multiplayer? Like, can they keep that, or is it just gonna be like a strict narrative or just like a free for all? But I'm still interested in it because, like,
for sure.
If there's one thing I've ever wanted to do is like play with friends and that universe. So like I think that's gonna be cool. So
for sure. So kind of to go off on a tangent with that, like it's really interesting to see a lot of games incorporate like multiplayer aspects, especially in story modes. Because if you remember Titanfall, like I feel like that was one of the first games that had
Well, yeah,
online story mode, but I don't think anybody played that.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, Titanfall kind of had a story.
Yeah.
Like, if you kind of read the loading screen
Right.
a little bit,
Yeah.
like, it was somewhat there, but yeah, it was just like an online, it was a multiplayer only game.
Right.
So, like, you could just play through the different maps, and it was kind of like in a story, sort of. But yeah, it was mainly just like Conquest and Deathmatch and like all those modes you're used to. And then a lot of people complain about it, and then they put a traditional campaign in the second one.
It's just kind of funny because, like, I feel like maybe it was too ahead of its time a little bit.
Well, I think the problem, because Star Wars Battlefront did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was multiplayer only, and a lot of people complain about the same thing. And so in the second one, they put in a traditional campaign.
Which is so weird because you're doing the same thing.
Yeah,
you know?
mostly, yeah, you're doing the same thing. I think Titanfall 2 actually had like a good campaign where it wasn't like, oh, I'm just playing through all the maps. It was actually like a story and actual level design and everything. Not like Battlefront 2 where it was like, oh, you're just playing through the maps and you're just playing horde mode basically. But yeah, it's like, I think the problem is when you have multiplayer only and you charge $60 for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that was the main issue with it.
At least do microtransactions if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Don't make it free and do microtransactions.
Yeah, make it free or make it like $30 and
you
know, pay for the DLC and all that stuff.
Right.
Let's see, anything new FIFA?
There's a new Doom.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty good.
New Doom.
At least from what you saw. I only saw like the cinematic trailer.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
But even like the one that came out recently before this new one was announced, like, it still looks promising. Like that game's a classic too. You know, like the fact that they're taking all these games and bringing them together, being like, yo, we want to share this with the newer generation.
Yeah.
And let the older generations be like, oh, I remember that game. We used to play it on the computer, like.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like you said, like bringing back Doom for a new generation, because like they did like for a little bit on the original Xbox, they had Doom 3, which was like super awesome and scared the shit out of me because like
that game's pretty good, man. Like,
it was.
I watched my stepdad play that on the computer.
Yeah,
he had a room in his office, right?
Yeah,
he'd close the door, shut the blinds, turn the lights off, and he had surround sound too. So I was sitting there playing, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, it was super creepy because like it was like dark corridors and like you had a flashlight, and so you could turn your flashlight on and off, and it was like, I don't know, I was just like scared to go around on any corner in that game. But yeah, and the new Doom was awesome because it's like just fast paced, super like twitch shooter fun, and the next one will be more of that. But yeah, because they brought that back and they brought back Wolfenstein for like new generation, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be rad. It'll be cool to see how it works out, especially with Battletoads, like how the audience reacts to it. And
well, and like speaking of that, they brought back Spyro.
Oh yeah.
Like they're remaking all 3 Spyro games, which is cool. I never liked Spyro.
No, I was more of a Crash Bandicoot fan.
I love Crash Bandicoot, and so when they remade the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, I bought that, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then now, like, I can play that game, and then Blake like watches me play that, and he's just like super enthralled by it. It's like it's super fun, and like, you know, he gets to play something or watch something, and I mean he tries to play it, but he doesn't understand the mechanics. But like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, I played this when I was a kid, and now it's like pretty and like you know, new mechanics and stuff, so it plays better.
And it almost makes you wonder like if it's ever gonna be like VR. You know, if right now we're still able to play consoles like controllers. Let's say Crash comes out again. And it's a VR experience. I'm not even gonna show you mine. That looks like trash.
I'm gonna keep that over here. Cause like it's crazy when you look back on like N64 games or like PS1 games, more in PS1. But if you look at like Final Fantasy VII and what that looked like on PS1, you're like, I don't remember it looking like this, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like they just look like little like triangles and squares put together.
Like Metal Gear Solid, like exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of like their faces aren't defined.
Oh yeah.
And like for them to talk, it's just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Having like a little, like they got Parkinson's or something. That's horrible. That shit would be funny. Somebody's gonna be like, how dare you make fun of this?
Yeah. It's so funny, but yeah, that's how it was. And like Crash Bandicoot, like looking at that and seeing like the way Crash Bandicoot looks now on PS4 is how I remembered it looking on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's crazy too because you're just like, I remember this level. It looked just like that. And
Yeah.
then you go and put it in, you're like,
No, this looks terrible.
it's so weird. Like, I mean, because anybody can attest to going to arcade, playing an old game, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then you see the stuff now, and you're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just cool to see how it changes. And it's been close to 40 years, like 35 plus years.
Yeah.
That games have been as
Industry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder how much farther they can go.
Yeah.
E3 is always a cool time period because you get to see what direction the games are going. Like I said, man, I'll stand by the whole statement that games are big. Because movies, you're limited to what people can do.
Yeah.
Based on like cartoons, live action, stop motion animation.
Yeah.
It's all within the imagination of the cartoon. Video games, it's like possibility because you can do everything.
So that does it for this episode of Free Cake. Thank you for joining us on our E3 analysis episode, I guess. Check out future stuff or old stuff like the Roseanne episode or the Kanye episode. And
If you want to dig real deep, you can watch the first episode.
yeah, you can watch that too. And then, comment, subscribe, like, share with everybody. You can follow us on Free Cake Cast at Twitter. And we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, take it easy.